Coming up, a fallen local Marine comes home tomorrow. An in-studio conversation with two members of the local Marine Corps League that is overseeing Lance Corporal Alec Trawiski's return to Du Bois County. And sold! The former wood products factory now under new ownership. These stories and more next on 18 News. Good evening, I'm Mick Burge. Fallen U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Alec Trawiski's body will return home tomorrow to Du Bois County. The 21-year-old Trawiski was killed a week ago yesterday while on combat operations in the Helmand province of southern Afghanistan. The 2010 graduate of Northeast Du Bois High School enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps that same year. He was on his first deployment tour with the Marines when he was killed. Now, Trawiski's body will arrive tomorrow at 12 noon at Huntingburg's Municipal Airport, where he will rejoin his family for the first time since he was killed. After he arrives, a special procession will follow that will take Lance Corporal Trawiski through northeast Du Bois County, the area where he grew up and where his family still lives. This is the route the procession will follow. It goes from Huntingburg to St. Anthony to Celestine to Du Bois to Hayesville and then Jasper. This map has been provided to us by the Herald, and a pull-out copy of this procession route map is in this afternoon's edition of the Herald. My thanks to them. Tomorrow's procession will end at Becker-Kleesner Northside Chapel in Jasper. The local Marine Corps League is asking people line the procession route tomorrow to honor Lance Corporal Trawiski for his ultimate sacrifice. Earlier today, I talked with Pat Moriarty and Dave Englert with the Marine Corps League, and I asked them what you can do to welcome Alec home.
The best thing for people to do tomorrow is line the route. The route's being advertised in all the papers. I'm sure it's on the radio station, the TV. What we'll do is we've made arrangements so that we'll have somebody will be in the procession, will be on the radio stations or with the radio stations on the phone, letting them know exactly where the procession is, you know, pretty much minute by minute. And the radio stations have agreed to air that. So that'll be pretty good. That'll give people a little bit of a heads up. You know, leaving the airport, I understand there's going to be a lot of fire trucks leading the fire truck or leading the hearse, so that'll give you a little bit of heads up that everybody's along the way. You know, unfortunately, the area out there at the airport and the area around the funeral home, it gets pretty crowded the way it is. So rather than add to the chaos, you know, it's much better to stand along the procession and watch it than try to be part of the procession.
We had a story on yesterday about the Patriot Guard and the American Legion Riders and their role in on this, and they're going to be here obviously tomorrow and through Friday, if you will, with a big presence here. What is their role?
Well, their role basically is to protect the family from any kind of protesters, and then show their support as well. So there's a lot of Marines that ride, and of course it's a lot of patriotic bikers that ride, so they just want to protect the family.
And obviously there's no real, I mean, this is the toughest time for the military. You hate to see a soldier and a Marine, in this case a soldier, an airman, anybody go down doing their duty. So talk about what this means for you guys, because you do truly, you're dealing with the family and have been since Monday night. Last Monday night.
It's a pretty tough situation, but it's something that once a Marine, always a Marine, and we take care of our own. So that's my philosophy and my feeling on it, and a lot as well. So it means a lot to me that we make sure that this young Marine is respected and buried with dignity.
Is there anything that you want to share with the public as far as what to expect the next 3 days? That you know, especially, you know, because a lot of these things are going to be open to the public, or the public will have access, particularly even a church. What are some of the things that the public can do as far as if they're trying to get to the visitation on Thursday and the Mass on Friday? Is there anything?
At visitation, we expect a lot of people there at the visitation, and it's going to be a long day for the family. So
Right.
just move along and pay your respects to the family, because the line is going to be long.
Right. There will be several Marine Corps League members out there, as well as family support group members. You know, we're going to do our best to help people get through the line as efficiently as possible. You know, obviously, there's not going to be time for long conversations, but you know, there'll be, like I say, several of us Marine Corps Leaguers. So, you know, if you need to talk to somebody about the Marines, you can probably pull one of us aside, and we'll be glad to talk to you. And then that way, that gets people through the family a little bit quicker. And you know, it's not that we're going to try not to be rude to anybody, but we're going to try to keep people moving along.
And again, visitation on Thursday is 11 until 8 o'clock at Becker North, and the Mass on Saturday or on Friday is at 10:30.
Is it
Correct.
10:30? Correct.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you.
My thanks, of course, to Dave Englert and Pat Moriarty of the local Marine Corps League. Now, today, flags all across the country were lowered to half-mast in honor of today being the National Day of Service and Remembrance to remember the victims of the September 11, 2001 tragedy. Now, the DuBois County Commissioners have also ordered that all flags throughout DuBois County remain at half-mast tomorrow for Lance Corporal Alec Trawiski and remain in that position through his funeral on Friday in Celestine. Also, Governor Daniels has ordered that all flags across Indiana be put at half-mast on Friday as well. Well, it took them a little more than 2 years, but DuBois County officials have sold the former Jasper Wood Products property. The DuBois County Commissioners yesterday officially sold the property to Paul Vogel, owner of Jasper Embroidery and Screen Printing. The price? $30,000. The sale comes within weeks of a deadline. The commissioners would have had to apply for a state grant to demolish the property. The former factory, which occupies a full city block bordered by 13th, 14th, Vine, and Leopold Streets, has been vacant since 2002. Multiple buildings are on the property, totaling 112,180 square feet. The property failed to sell at 3 public auctions in the past. The county assumed ownership of the property back in May of 2010 to pay off back taxes. Vogel plans to demolish most of the buildings on the property, preserving the main building on the north. Some of the property will be used for his businesses. The Jasper Public Library Board met last night, and Board Attorney Bill Schoenfeld says negotiations with Vincennes University on the planned purchase of the former Grammelspacher Goodswaller building across the street have hit a glitch. It's been learned that a small 9-space parking lot on the building's north side is not owned by VU, but actually by the VU Jasper Center Foundation. The board did give approval last night to Schoenfeld, allowing him to negotiate with the VUJC Foundation on a 99-year lease for the parking lot. Now, the negotiations are simply a formality in the acquisition process. The Jasper Library Board is purchasing the building for just $1. The annual lease payment for the parking lot will be just $1 a year. All right, coming up, Carrie's in next with our weekly visit from our friends at the DuBois County Humane Society Shelter. And later in sports, Kurt has highlights from last night's Forest Park Southridge volleyball match at Beekler Arena.